So I've said it a million times and I will say it a million more times. Your heart produces the largest electromagnetic field in your body. And here is why heart coherence should become your number one priority. I was thinking about this the other day, and from an electrical standpoint, it actually doesn't make sense that our hearts produce the largest field because our brains have billions of neurons, while our hearts have about 40,000, and our brains require about 20 watts of power in a resting state, while our hearts only require less than half than that. So there's way more electrical potential happening in our brain right now than in our hearts. And the reason that these electrical measurements matter is because of Ampere's law, which states that anything with an electrical current produces a magnetic field. And the more current, the higher the current, the stronger the field. So you would think by sharing these facts about the brain and the heart and the electricity that's happening all the time in our bodies that our brain would produce a larger field, but our hearts do. Why is that? It's because of synchronization. Our brains fire out of sync in seemingly random order, depending on whatever activity that we're doing, while our hearts operate and fire in synchronized coherence, meaning when one neuron fires, all of them fire. And not just the neurons, but the muscle cells as well. If you touch one muscle cell in your heart, all of them react. We find synchronized coherence, unity, wholeness in the heart. And this reflects a principle of superposition called constructive interference. And constructive interference happens when two or more waves meet and their peaks and their valleys line up. And because of this, they amplify each other to create a stronger wave. So our hearts produce the largest field because of coherence and synchronization. And here's why you should care about this so much. I'm guessing that you know what it feels like, almost like every single human out there, myself included, to live your life and make decisions from this center of consciousness, which is inherently firing out of sync and incoherent. When we are in states of anxiety or overanalysis, overthinking, you're spiraling, you're frustrated or trying to control the outcome of your life, when you're judging the world around you and you're trying to find solutions and you're just going in circles, those symptoms are a cue that you might be in a high beta brainwave state. And this is one of the most incoherent states that we can be in. Do you think that we make clear, rational decisions when we're in that state? No, we don't. It's funny that society has taught us that this is rational, right? Living your life from this center of consciousness is irrational. But if you look at yourself like a little energy field, this doesn't connect to all the fields in your body, but your heart does. If you're looking for a coherent, holistic picture of vibrational information, then you find that by tuning in to this center of consciousness. And to be fair to modern Western research, there's a debate on whether or not our hearts actually have consciousness, but there is mounting evidence that our hearts process our experiences and influence our perception way more than we originally thought. Our hearts have the power to pull our brain into greater synchronization and coherence. That's called heart coherence. When we reach a state of physiological coherence, meaning that the frequency of our brain and the frequency of our heart align. And what's really fascinating is when your brain starts firing in greater synchronization, the field of your brain gets stronger as well. So ultimately, you just have a more powerful, coherent magnetic field when you prioritize states of heart coherence. And these states of heart coherence are associated with low beta, alpha, and theta brainwave states. And these are brainwave states that we find when we are relaxed, focused. We can be awake and conscious, but we are generally calm and we're not stressed out. We're not in a fight or flight mode. It's also found in states of meditation. You are naturally in a state of alpha, like theta to alpha brainwave states when you are waking up from sleeping and when you're going to bed. That twilight hour of waking consciousness and sleeping consciousness, we find this little portal of just natural brainwaves that support our coherence. Our intuition speaks through the field of our hearts, and our brains then decide if we want to listen to it. I genuinely believe our intuition feels like a magnetic pull or a repelling, almost like you're a little magnet out there. And when we get these sensations, these random intuitive calls to like talk to someone or go to this store or whatever it might be, or pursue this opportunity or to look up this information, we just get these little nudges that seemingly come from an irrational place, right? Like our brain might be like, where the heck did that come from? That doesn't make any sense to me. I'm over here doing this. But the heart, the massive field of your heart, is the one that's connecting to fields outside of you. And what if something comes in that would be a really good opportunity for you or a good connection? And your heart is like, hey, ding, 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 pay attention to this. But then your brain, because you think you're being rational, living in your brain, you're being like, no, that doesn't make any sense. But maybe it's more rational to listen to where wholeness and harmony and coherence comes from, and that comes from your heart. I interrupt this short message for one other comment on the brain. The brain is incoherent for a reason, and it's not bad or negative. Our brains fire out of sync in random order based on the tasks that we're doing. Like your heart is not going to drive your car for you and register the information of like a traffic light or who's beside you and like move your body the way that you need to move. Our brains do that. Our brains are so powerful, and so are our hearts. And the overall message from this video is to maybe just pay a little bit more attention to the relationship between the two of them. Instead of living so much here, can we invite in this center more? And through this center, we can bring this center into greater harmony and coherence. Okay, back to the message. So when it comes to making decisions for your life from a holistic place of harmony and unity, it doesn't come from up here, it comes from here. Or should I say the relationship between this and this? And I genuinely believe also that we all know how to connect to our hearts. We're just out of practice. You connecting to your heart, I believe, is one of the most natural things for you to do. And we just don't focus on it. So may this be a friendly reminder to connect this to this today a little bit more and listen to those intuitive nudges. And if you want to practice, I invite you into my community. I host free monthly full moon gatherings to practice heart connection, consciousness, and coherence on the full moon. And there's a reason I do it on the full moon, because our biofields are influenced by the lunar cycle. And I also run a deep dive lunar cycle container for those who want to establish a habitual practice, a daily practice of living from the heart and not the mind. So you can find information on both of those offerings below. But thank you so much for watching, and let me know what you think of this information.